welcome again to another video. My name is Stéphane Gonville and I have a website called Freedom Academy HQ where I help people overcome their shyness and their social anxiety. So today, I just want to share a couple little tricks that I've used to stop blushing, okay? So basically, blushing is one of the main things that I've hated having, and who doesn't hate blushing, obviously, but some people blush more than others. And if I was to look at the principles behind why that happens, is because of this, okay? If you blush a lot, it's probably because you try to hide it from other people, okay? It's probably because subconsciously it's like the people that blush the most, like I used to do, it's basically because it was a big problem for them, and they saw it as a big problem that they wanted to hide from everybody else. And that's what's going on behind blushing when you think about it, is because it's all about guilt, right? Because blushing, when you think about it, what is blushing? Okay, first of all, so blushing is basically you showing embarrassment to other people as a way to show guilt to other people so that they will feel empathy towards you, right? So that's what blushing is. It's basically like, let's say you do something wrong or you say something wrong at a social gathering somewhere, and you say something that offends someone else and you start blushing. Other people are going to be like, oh, okay, so I can see in his face, he feels embarrassed and he recognizes what he did wrong. So therefore, I'm going to back off. I understand that he understands that he did something wrong. But that's the whole problem, because when you start to try to hide your blushing, okay, it creates this, it basically makes it so that you are more prone to blush in front of other people. Because when you feel nervous or you feel bad about blushing in front of people and you try to hide it as much as possible, you'll feel even more guilty when you do start to blush. And that's what creates this kind of whole snowball effect that will create you to blush more and more and more. That's what happened to me. It's basically, when I was younger, I never really used to blush all that much. Everybody blushes from time to time. And that's another thing you need to realize. You're not alone in this, okay? Everybody feels embarrassed from time to time. But the people that blush the most is the people that feel embarrassed about feeling embarrassed, It's the people that feel as if blushing is like the be-all, end-all, It's like, don't blush, please don't blush. If you feel like that, you are almost guaranteed to blush more often than most people. And it's when you try to hide it from other people that it happens more often. So the best trick to overcome this, okay, and just hear me out, what I'm going to say next is going to probably want to make you click back on this video, but just try to hear me out, okay? The best way to overcome blushing and to stop blushing altogether, actually, you won't be able to completely stop blushing, okay? Nobody is in life, okay? Embarrassment is is a natural part of life. Everybody has it from time to time. But if you want to stop blushing, if you want to cut it down 95%, okay? You will have awkward moments here and there. That's totally normal. Everybody does. But if you want to stop having this overburdened blushing all the time, this is what you need to do. You need to start exposing yourself when you blush to other people, okay? And before you click back, just try to hear me out. What's behind this? So when you start blushing, okay, your natural tendency, what is it to do? Oh man, you start blushing, you're nervous, and then you try to hide it. Oh man, you start, and that's what creates the whole compounding effect, because the more you try to hide it, the more you notice that other people are noticing that you're blushing, and then it just creates this whole downhill event that, maybe you have very extreme blushing where, like I used to have, I used to blush very heavily, and it hasn't happened ever since I've done this little thing, which is to try and display, okay? You try and display your blushing to other people. So instead of like, when you start blushing, you can feel it, right? You can feel the blood rushing to your head. You can feel, you know, maybe even start feeling nauseous a bit. You start feeling the little sweat on your, you know, a cool breeze. You can feel it because you know that you're sweating. When that starts to happen, rather than, and this is tough, you know, rather than start to try and, you know, hide it from everybody and just try to go into like, no, don't blush anymore. Just stop blushing. Just try to increase your blushing. So when you do this, okay, when you try to increase your blushing, what that does is basically that it will allow your feelings to come up and to leave your body much more quickly than you're used to. Okay, so you're blushing, you're still gonna blush at first, okay, but this is kind of like a habit that you're creating where over time your blushing is gonna reduce. But at first it's gonna be tricky because you're gonna feel blushing, and instead of trying to hide blushing from everybody, try to expose it to try to let it happen. Try to become transparent and try to be like, okay, yeah, I'm blushing right now, and you know, it's totally fine. Just let it happen, because what you'll find that happens when you do this is that your blushing is still going to happen, but it's going to be much less intense, and it's going to be much quicker also. It's going to just disappear much quicker. And the more you can do that, feel blushing, let it happen, concentrate on the feelings that it creates in your body. Just try to concentrate on that, you know, and let it happen. Instead of trying to hide it, just bring your focus to the sensations of your blushing in your face. And when you do that over and over and over, when it happens, you'll soon find that it doesn't become a problem anymore, because it's kind of like you accept that you blush sometimes, and then blushing doesn't become as a big deal anymore. So I hope that could help you a little bit. If you want to know the 2 things that I've done to completely overcome my social anxiety and my shyness, you can click on the first link in the description box below, and I'll send you a training that shows you exactly the 2 things that I've done to do that. So thanks again, guys, and I will see you in the next video.